let's try the toast test. The idea is that it should stay, the jam should stay on the toast and not slide off. No slippy slidey jam here. But the second test really is whether the jam is too stiff. And that to me looks like okay jam. So the raspberry jams tick that box. There's the raspberry jam. See what I was saying yesterday about it? It sinks a little bit, which is why you need to put the wax disc on when it's hot, because it takes it down with it and completes the seal. I mean, it's not a perfect seal, of course not. So today I'm going to put the lids on and the fabric. And so over on the cooker I've got this rhubarb cooking for the syrup, and there was only a pint of the blackberry syrup, so I'm going to make a very small amount of jam. And I had an idea that I might make really tiny, single serving almost, pots of blackberry jelly in here, one for each family. I'll work it out. I think there are 9 families altogether, something like that. Yeah, there'll be a really good use of my little ceramics, won't it? Okay, guys, I'm going to cut some circles now while I'm having my breakfast, and start thinking about making this lot look all pretty. I've lit the fire too. It's quite cold outside today. Well, jam is jamming, jellying, syruping. This is all set and lovely, and so now I've got out this fabric. Mum had a lot of fabric. Anyone who knows my mum will know that that's probably the understatement of the decade. She made quilts, and many quilts. In fact, I brought home all of her unfinished quilt tops. I think there are 9 of them for me to finish over the next year or so. It's a bit of a daunting task. I'm trying to work out how best to do that and keep sane. However, that's not today's job. Today's job is to look at the ribbon we've got, and look at the fabrics we've got and the jam. And then in here, these are all the jam lids that went in the dishwasher as well. So they're going to go on just as an extra protection. They're not blank lids. They've all got the proprietary thing on them. But hey ho, that's fine. So we're going to form jam lids for all of these in here, which will work brilliantly. Nope, too big. What's this one? There seems to be a lot of these. They must have eaten a lot of whatever this is. Yeah, so I'm going to cut circles. That one needs a good wipe. I won't do that one. That was a tiny lid. There we are. I'm going to cut circles. I'm kind of guessing that might be about the right size by the time I've cut that and put it on and put the ribbon round. So we'll start with one and see how we go. But then I'm also going to talk a little bit about this little YouTube channel of mine and how it's grown in such a short period of time. And it's fantastic. It's all down to you guys, of course. But I've got over 70 subscribers now, from starting with just 2 or 3, and me putting this out, wondering whether anyone was going to be interested. Anyway, I've written down a few of the people who comment and leave lovely suggestions and well wishes, just to say a special thank you and hello to you. I think that circle needs to be bigger, don't you? Just a bit bigger, a bit more sticky outy. Yeah, so I was going to chat on, wasn't I, while I did this, but I'm going to need a slightly bigger circle. That's all right, I can eyeball that. I like this one. I think this looks cool, but let's use them all. All. Yes, so I was talking, wasn't I, about how I like the connections I've been able to make from all over the world. All over the world. I love it. So, there's Sherry in Alaska. And I sometimes moan about the weather. It's a bit snowy, it's a bit cold. Honestly, girls, I'm sorry if I do that. There's someone who hasn't got a name, but she's called Giggle from British Columbia. I'm guessing you've got snow as well. Okay, let me... Oh, I wonder what it would be like if I just cut them square. You'd have the sort of... Let's try that for an idea. Let's try that. What would happen if I did that? Nope, round. Okay, so I'm going to just mention a few of these lovely people. Cynthia, who's a very new subscriber, who, bless you Cynthia, thank you very much for liking so many of these little efforts I put up and leaving some beautiful comments. Thank you. I just love this world shrinking down right into my kitchen. Let's see what that one's like. Well, firstly, it's not round, but hey, this is jam. It's going to be in the bin, isn't it, before you know it. Now, what have we got here? There's a nice pink bit. That might be about the right size. So, Janie, thank you. Not quite sure where you're from. Firefly Hollow. All these lovely names people choose. Thank you very much for subscribing. Sarah, who's from Australia, who I first started to take notice of because she does Hercules candy tributes as well. So you should check out her chocolate covered caramels and her chocolate covered, her potato chip bark. Now, of course, chips in this country are crisps. Chips are made out of potato, and you eat them with fish and chips. So, I think probably we're the only country who calls chips crisps. But anyway, whatever. They make this bark out of potato chips. It looks about the unhealthiest thing you've ever seen, but it's probably delicious. That's about the right amount of skirt, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. Like that one. So Sarah is a young mum who does these cool chocolate videos in Australia. Sarah S. You'll find her as in the comments below. Then there's Lynn Marie. Don't know where you're from, but very nice to have you along for the ride. Rebecca Faust. Rebecca. Hi. Sherry from Alaska, I've already talked about. Alison, who's from this country. These are all people who regularly watch my videos. And, you know, that's lovely for me. And then there's Julie. Now, Julie is the only one of these people I know in the real world. And Julie and I used to work together. We were good mates when we worked. Julie and I worked together for years, and she's retired now, and I too, I suppose. I kind of took early retirement from that job. That one work? Yes, it does. Anyway, I was in town the other day in Newcastle. I'm not often in Newcastle these days, but I was in Newcastle. I wonder if I should just do different colours. Why am I going all traditional? Come on, colours. Why don't we go green on this one? Come on, let's be a bit wild. Let's mix it up. Yeah, that'll look better. I was in Newcastle. I only needed to buy one thing. And of course it was about sewing. And there's only one place in the whole of Newcastle where there's any point in going for anything to do with sewing. And that's John Lewis's haberdashery department. Well, who should I bump into in John Lewis's haberdashery department but Julie? Of course, if I was going to meet her anywhere, but you know, spontaneously, it would be there. What a lovely woman. She sews beautifully, absolutely beautifully. She makes her own clothes, which is something, well, I do. I made this, but you know, the stuff that I make is very straight up and down, not very tailored or fitted. It just sort of like, just about covers you up. Yeah, do we like the green? Looks a bit Christmassy, that one, doesn't it now? Oh, let's not get too critical about these. Let's just do them. Anyway, Julie, you're a sweetheart. And Julie wants to come and do one of my indigo dyeing days with me in the summer. And it feels like summer's a long way off. But it'll be here before you know it, Julie, and I'll tell you when we're going to do that. And I would love that. Maybe we'll get some of the other people I used to work with along as well. So Maddie, if you're watching, do you want to come? Sue? Catherine? All of these people. This is a nice one. This is very raspberry, isn't it? It's quite big as well. I don't really want to waste it. And I've got an aversion to cutting against the selve edge, so unfortunately I am going to have to cut quite a... I've got all the other ones to do as well though, haven't I? I've got to cut quite a lot of that off. That's the size I'm after. I could do this up with my rotary cutter on the table, but it's just as easy to do it this way. It's just rough and ready, isn't it? Anyway, you lovely subscribers, thank you. I'm over 70 subscribers now. Who would have thunk it? Definitely not me. Now, I'm wondering if I should put this on speed it up so that you don't have to watch me. Or maybe I'll stop it and you can come back at the end and see how I've managed. I've got 3 done at the moment. And I'm going to do 14. No, 14? Yeah, 14. That's how many there were. This is a nice idea though, isn't it? To put the jelly in here. These are my tiny little... At the end of pottery, when I finish throwing big things, I like to throw a few little things. Really enjoy making these small things. And I've got so many of them. Okay then, this is boring watching me doing this, so I will turn it off. Get back to you when I've done all of those and when the jam, jelly and syrup are ready to go. Thanks for watching so far, part 3. So here it is, fast. It's boring watching me do it in real time. Christy from Australia particularly asked me to show what they looked like when they were finished, and so this is for you, Christy. Look, I got the idea to put an elastic band around them to hold them in place. And then at the very end, the jelly, was potted up into some of my little ceramic dishes. That's all it made, that little bit. So that's me and Sadie saying goodbye. And thanks for watching. Part 4 will be the syrup.